Well, hello, folks. It's Ned from Rock 108 hanging in here in the studio today. As you know, bands are stuck. They can't do anything. They can't go touring. And even today, there were supposed to be two big rock festivals happening in Wisconsin, even though we're in Iowa, but whatever. But in Wisconsin, there's supposed to be Rock USA and Rock Fest. And because we all know what happened, the 2020 pandemic of COVID-19 decided just to kill live music for the entire year of 2020. And it's mentally killing me at the same time too. But I'm just the radio guy. The artist got to go out there and make the money and have fun and rock out. And they're not able to do that. So I'm very excited to be joined by Corey Lowery of Seether, hanging out here on the show today, man. How's it going?
What's up, man? Good to be with you. Good to be with you.
Absolutely. We were just talking a little bit off the air before we did this whole thing or whatever. Corey, you're like kind of the jack of all trades guy. And we mentioned too of like the fact that you're never content because you always have to feel like you have to keep doing something. I think we might be cut from the same block of cheese, dude.
Yeah, man. I think it's important to keep your mind growing and moving. And, you know, I get bored pretty quick. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I'm always, I don't know if it's ADD or, you know, what I have, but it's important to me to kind of keep learning. You know, I get into the engineering, the producing and songwriting. It's one of those arts that you'll never, there's not a perfect song. And that's that's the perfect part of it. It's the search for that.
Right.
And to be able to truly express yourself, you know.
Yeah, and even in radio and just which is obviously so closely tied to music, like there's always something more you could do, and or the things that you do, like how could I have done that better? What could I have done differently to get that moving just a little bit more or something?
Right. I mean, if you just sit, I think you get stagnant. You know, I mean, who wants to be like that?
No, it's boring. It's absolutely boring.
And it's like, I always say, it's like kind of like a Russian river, you know, like if you dive in, it's crazy at first, but if you're already in it, it's a nice, smooth journey, you know? So
yeah, exactly.
There's my metaphor of the day, I think.
There you go. Perfect. You know, I was just mentioning too about how Rock USA is one of those festivals that got canceled. And that's supposed to be going on today, one of the big rock festivals in the Midwest. And I'm thinking like, you know, just to kind of go along with that, normally with radio interviews or any kind of interviews, you go to the artist at the show and you're on the bus or doing that thing. And because of this pandemic, we're learning all sorts of different ways to do things, especially in the music world. I've been seeing like these Zoom quarantine sessions, like Lamb of God did one recently, and all these kind of like artists coming together, kind of doing something. It's really unique seeing what artists like you guys can do.
Yeah. We're all trying to be inventive right now. You know, it's just that, you know, it's the wild, wild west as far as figuring things out. And, you know, there's no such thing as mistakes as far as trying, you know, and it's, so we are trying to be creative with it and come up. I think we did something about everybody in the band kind of shared who they were, what they did as a person, you know. So Dale loves to fish and cook, you know, and so he did a little series on our channel. And Johnny with the CDs, he does this thing with he's a big vinyl collector.
Oh hell yeah, dude! And
so I mean, it's thousands and thousands. Every tour, he's like, "Where's Johnny? He's at the vinyl store," you know. So, and I mean, and I did the CrossFit and jiu-jitsu, and you know, to me, it was like that's kind of what helps keep my mental going. You know, it's important to stay active. You know, I do that kind of stuff more from a mental than physical is a bonus.
Yeah, it just kind of comes with it.
Yeah. So and then you know, and Sean went on and did some acoustic songs and did a lot of questions. You know, a lot of answering question kind of thing, and for the fans, you know, just to let them know that hey, we're thinking about you. Nobody misses the tour, I think, more than the musicians right now.
Right, yeah.
Because it's a relationship, you know. We miss the relationship, that energy, and, you know, and we'll get back to it. We're going to get up through all this, I think. Just everybody stay positive as you can in this weird time. You know, that's important.
Very much so, man. And even, you know, I think about it, like earlier this year, I was talking about the fact of like how many bands are announcing tours, like Rammstein, Rage Against the Machine, all these bands. And then all of a sudden, COVID-19 happened. And now that makes me think of like 2021, I might have to take a mortgage on this new house I bought so I can afford to go out to these amazing concerts that are going to be happening next year.
Yeah, man, you know what? I think it's going to be a celebration of for many reasons. You know,
Mhm.
I think when we look back on this, we'll realize how much music brings people together, and it's also an outlet. You know, I mean, you go to the shows. I would go to shows and watch bands, and I'm singing at the top of my lungs. You know, blow my voice out. Just
Yeah, yeah.
so into it. With whether it be with rage or happiness or whatever,
Mhm.
but to get all that emotion out, it was venting. And
Yeah.
I think for us musicians, we have that outlet as far as writing music and playing music. But it's also, we'll still get in the back lounge, man, and crank up some music. We'll throw on Pantera, and it's a full concert.
No,
It's
yeah.
right before we play. Most of the time before we go on, it's a full Pantera concert. We're all like jamming, and
Yeah, dude.
everybody, I'm pretending to be Dimebag. We're kids with it, and it's
Yeah.
that energy and that release. I think after all this is done, and we can get back to that, uh, everything's going to tone down a little bit on,
Mhm.
because right now you don't know what to do with all this energy,
Yeah.
and and you got to get it out,
Yep.
and that's not to say that some things don't need to be brought up, but I think that how you bring it up, you want to keep your character through this time as well. So
Mhm. Yeah. Yesterday, I was talking to Dustin Bates from Starset. He mentioned, and I'm not a sports guy whatsoever. I'm not much of a sports dude. But one of my things with we mentioned about sports was the fact that it's surprising how much we need sports because it gives people like a focus, like mentally, like a focus to scream at their favorite team or get excited about a goal being scored or something like that.
sure, sure.
It's nuts.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not a big sports fan. I like some sports,
Mm,
but yeah, my wife is. She's like football.
yeah.
And I'm like the dude in the house going, UFC, and but we need those things. I think it's another outlet.
Yep.
It's amazing how much that's going to help. And like I said, I think looking back on this, how much music really heals people, and
Right.
that's the biggest thing is when that's not happening like it normally would, as
Mm,
far as sharing that energy together and being close. These fans through the years, a lot of them become your friends, and
yeah.
and and then after all this is done, I think it's going to be the biggest celebration. I hope everyone comes back out to shows, and we can do get back to normal life.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to 2021. I've written off 2020 a long time ago. I mean,
2020 in hindsight, right?
yeah, exactly, man. So we can sit here and talk about COVID-19 and all that fun stuff, but we
Yeah.
got to promote too. I mean, Seether's got a brand
Boom.
new single out called Dangerous, and it's awesome. I mean, when is everything happening? When's this new album? When's the next single? When is all of this happening?
New record. The new record comes out August 28th, and I can't. August 28th. I can't
Yeah,
wait for this thing to come out, man. It's we're so excited about it, and and can't wait to play it all and stuff like that. And we
yeah,
will for sure. But Seaweed's Pacem Parabellum is the album.
okay,
Seaweed's Pacem Parabellum.
cool.
And that is that album title means if you want peace, prepare for war.
Mm,
Um, and so Sean did an incredible job as far as the lyrics on this record. Incredible job. Just he has that knack to show that vulnerable side of him
mhm,
that makes it so real,
yeah,
and that talking about that sincerity, and just to be able to do that, it takes a lot of courage just to write some of the lyrics that he's written,
yeah,
and to express that with everything you got. You kind of put your whole guts out there, and and for people to say, this is great or bad or whatever, it's
mhm,
for the judgment side of it. I think he completely doesn't think anything like that, and just writes. And
That's what's so cool about rock music, man. I mean, I've been in the radio industry for 10 plus 14 years at this point, and rock music is just such a personal sound. I mean, you listen to like pop artists, and your pop artists are fine. They're there to make commercial music to make millions upon millions of dollars every single day. But when you listen to a rock song, like a good rock song or like an interpretation of a rock song, the lyrics are just so much more personal, more emotional, whatever it may be. Like very recently, what album was it? I Prevail released their album Trauma.
yeah,
Such a personal album. I'm like, oh my gosh, man, it just has that sound that I think people need to hear a little bit more than just going to the club, that kind of thing.
yeah, yeah. I mean, as far as genres go, I mean, rock is a rebellion art form. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? It's a rebellion art form, and these are kind of rebellion times. So I think that rock music is as far as going to be. It's not a comeback. It's
Yeah.
just what is that? It's not don't call it a comeback. It's been here for years. It, I mean, I don't think any genres go away. I think that sometimes they get this genre gets highlighted for a little bit. It's the time of where we're at in the world.
Mhm.
But it never really goes away. We play and there's sold out arenas. I don't think so there's not it's not that it's gone away.
Mhm.
I think that it just has it's up and downs,
That's the thing, yeah.
and right now is a perfect time for it to have its up. So there's a lot of rock musicians are writing some great lyrics right now, and
Mhm.
I think that's going to be there's definitely a time to make a loud noise, and we intend on being one of the bands that do that.
Heck yeah, man, with their brand new album coming out on August 28th. Now, Corey, I got to always ask this question because I never got to ask it to like Vinny or Dimebag because obviously they are no longer with us, which kills me every single day. But your brother is Clint, right?
Yeah.
That I think that's unique as hell because obviously Clint was Seven Dust and you with Seether and the multiple music projects that you've been a part of. Like growing up together and like kind of being in that same house or whatever it may be. What's that kind of like? I mean, like when all of a sudden one brother goes in this band and then you go in that band, and then is there like an interesting, like what's Thanksgiving like? What's the holidays?
Well, everyone would play except us, like when we go home. I got cousins sit around with guitars and sing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Clint and I are coming off tour and we just kind of want to watch, I got cousins that are probably better than we are, but no, I mean, our mom and dad played music,
Mhm.
and we were raised with it. And they were signed. They toured with bands like Iron Butterfly, the Allman Brothers, and
Oh, dude, that's awesome.
so they there were always musicians around the house and stuff
Mhm.
like that. So it was kind of an organic thing. You first start playing in your backyard. I sold tickets at 10 years old, pretending to play.
Mhm.
And then at 11 years old started playing,
Mhm.
and I played with my dad for 3 years when I was 15.
Yeah.
And then Clint and I played together for some years, and then we wanted to have our own voices and stuff like that,
Right.
and he was a great writer, and we both wanted to write and express ourselves in certain ways, and so that we supported each other, and we still support each other today. And it's cool to see each other every now and then on the charts and stuff like that together. And
Mhm.
the good times and the bad, like
Right.
just like all the bands, I mean, I got to actually tour with Pantera,
Oh man.
Stuck Mojo. We did
Yeah.
one of the last tours, and what an incredible group of people that the first day I had to go, I had to step off into this little dressing room.
Mhm.
We were in Spain, and I just literally had to sit down and calm myself. I'm like, I was so nervous. I've never been starstruck or anything
Right.
by anybody, like Bruce Lee, I would be starstruck, but
Mhm.
I was so starstruck by them, and growing up as a kid, just rocking to them.
Right.
That's a big effect on me. And come to find out, they're just the coolest Dimebag just, he's like, "What's up, dude?" You know, give me this big hug and
Here's a
just
black
warm, dude, black tooth grits for everyone, you know, every night. And,
Yeah.
you know, everybody in the band was super cool. And so to have that experience and, you know, see them jam and stuff like, you know, with brothers that, you know, they were just, they'll forever be missed and definitely taken from us too soon.
Yeah, very much so, man. And just again, I always heard that story, and you might be maybe be able to put some truth to this, but I was told that, or at least the legend, let's call it that, if you toured with Pantera, you had to sign a contract saying that you have to party with them every night. Do you remember signing such a thing, or was that just
Well,
like maybe?
I mean, back then, you know, the parties were parties. You know,
Mhm.
we just had fun, man. It was never, you know, sign
An
anything kind of
obligation.
thing. You know, there were a lot of, you know, I'll pay you $20 to try to do a backflip drunk or something. You know, tons of money was passed around with doing stupid stunts like that. But I mean,
Right.
they were probably the inventors of the original Jackass, you know, kind of movie.
And then you have those three movies, three vulgar videos, man. I mean, you just
Yeah,
that's what it was like.
but you know those type of things. I think you know that's why we still today, even in Cedar, before we play,
Mhm.
we jam them so bad. These guys affected us so much, and you know, there's a lot of bands that are like that. You know, that have been around and that are still around that
Yeah.
still we rock to, and I think us as a band, we're just so glad to be able through the good times and the bad
Mhm.
still be able to do music, still be able to write something that's relevant and still keep growing as a band. And I'm, you know, so excited to be a part of this now. And I found my home with my new brothers with Seether. So
Yeah, man, absolutely. That's it's so like empowering and good feeling. It's
it's
kind of cool
awesome. It's
there.
awesome. Man. Yeah.
So I know we're probably cutting close to time, and my white balance in my camera keeps going nuts. I don't know what's going on with this thing,
You're too
but
powerful, man. You're just so
it is.
powerful.
I think it's a webcam from like
Illuminate,
2000.
you know, like I want to illuminate. Like, how do I do that?
Yeah, you have like a professional studio. I have like Christmas lights.
Ah!
Yeah, it's way better. So
Oh, yeah. All the
outside
studio
of
listening.
oh, sorry. Outside of I mean, we could sit here and we could chat about music all day, but to kind of wrap it up, getting pretty close here, and I'm almost done with my cup of coffee, so I need a fresh cup. What are you doing outside of music? I know you're a huge music nut, but like, are you playing video games? You watching movies, kind of thing like that?
I do I do I'm doing a lot of jujitsu, man, here lately. Jujitsu and CrossFit. You know, that those two things kind of help me mentally and physically. Yeah, physically is the a cool bonus, but more mentally, it just keeps me moving, and
Yeah.
I want to, you know, stay in movement. I don't like to sit too stagnant too long, or you
Yeah.
know, I start to go crazy, and you know, that's when you make weird decisions. I think, you know, like
Yeah. Like, I got a good idea.
when I get home from CrossFit or Jiu-Jitsu, I'm kind of like, yeah, man, it's all gonna be fine. We'll work it out. Let's work on it. But I'm not in a like, you know, well, what are we gonna do ever kind of person.
It does a lot for you mentally. For the longest time, I was doing. I mean, I still am. I took a break because I'm moving a house. But when that's all said and done, I've been doing Diamond Dallas Page yoga, DDP yoga.
I know Paige. I know him well. Yeah,
Oh, really? No doubt,
I,
man.
I've done that. It's hard. It's
Yeah.
real damn hard. It's not easy. Look, anything for everybody. Find something, an outlet to get that stuff out of you. You know, you got to move around, sweat a little bit, and just because otherwise you'll sit there and you know the depression and all that stuff starts to kick in, and
Yeah.
you don't feel like you've accomplished anything, and you know that's when it kind of goes bad. You know,
Mhm.
so it goes bad for me for sure. So that's why I do it, and I'm glad to hear you're doing it. And we so I'm a big supporter of anybody. We do a thing with Sean started something a long time ago with suicide awareness.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
The Rise Above Fest that he
Mhm.
started, and that's such a we want to be a positive thing in this. I know we were, there's write a lot about dark songs, and but there's light at the end of this tunnel.
Yeah.
And it's finding it. And sometimes it's just the tiniest of light sometimes, but it's out there. And, you just got to hold on and keep doing things that keep you a little bit more illuminated, I guess.
Yeah. And especially in today's world, man, that's what we need to hear. That's what a lot of people need to hear. And that's very awesome. So cool, man.
I don't. Well, listen, also August 28th, the record comes out today. Well, today, I believed, we think we're releasing something new, even.
Oh, really?
Bruised and Bloodied. I believe yes, because I just posted from us.
Oh.
So, go to the Seether website, check it out.
I better go get over there right now, man. Go check this out.
Yeah. So we get some surprises coming up for everyone, and we're going to try to stay creative and I know it's not live, in person and in all 5D or whatever, but this is the best we got right now. And we're so glad for guys like you that help us support and get out there to the people, man. It means the world to us. We haven't turned anything down anytime we get into this stuff. I'm like, man, let's just reach as many people as we can during this time. So thank you.
I can't thank you enough, man, and for being part of an amazing band and doing all the music stuff that you've done with either Crowbot or Saint Asonia and everything, man. It's so cool. Man, it's nuts. So thank you for everything that you keep rocking out, man, because people need music, and you're definitely on the forefront of that for sure.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah, so we'll call it a day here, but before we get done, I have to do a blog. I posted up on rock108.com, do that whole thing. So we need to take a quick still shot of you and me, and it's like 2 or 3 seconds of just holding a pose. So if you have a fun pose you want to do, or if you have something and you want to grab, perfect. Well, yours is way better than my coffee mug. Oh man, what have I got here? I've got this remote controller. We're gonna do that, and this SpongeBob thing I found.
I like this SpongeBob. That's way cooler. Now I want to throw away all my stuff. That's
awesome. So we'll do a still shot in 3, 2.
Hold on.
Yeah. Okay.
I found something else.
What do you got? What's in the studio?
And I have this.
Damn, man. You're one-upping me.
I got to have something. You're doing it.
Oh, son of a... Oh, you know what? Hold on. So I got something. Hold on.
All right, here we go. Now we're talking.
Let's see if I can get this. Here we go. All right, I'll get my coffee. So I'll bring this down a little bit. All right. This is the best one yet. All right, in 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Awesome. Oh, you're the best, Corey, man. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, man.
All right. Well, we'll probably get this posted either this week or next week, and then it'll go up, and then share, like, all the fun.
All that stuff. We'll do all that stuff, man. Thank you for making this happen.
Absolutely. Thank you for making it happen. I'm just a dork in the radio studio, so there you go.
Yeah, but you got a SpongeBob. That goes a long way.
Hey, as long as I got that, man. I mean, do I really need anything else? All right. Corey, man, you're the bomb. Thank you so much, and we'll hopefully see you on tour next year at some point.
I promise.
New album in August. Look for it.
Thank you.
See you, man.